The San Francisco fog. They say it has secrets. It wraps around the skyscrapers like a cold gray blanket, muffling the sounds of the city, turning the familiar into something else. I learned that the hard way. My name is Lena, and I used to be just another office worker, burning the midnight oil in a glass and steel tower that scraped the foggy sky. I loved the quiet of the office after everyone had gone home. The city lights twinkling below, the distant hum of traffic. It was my sanctuary, or so I thought. That night, the fog was thicker than I'd ever seen it. It pressed against the windows of the 40th floor, making me feel like I was in a snow globe. It was past 10 when I finally packed up, my eyes gritty from staring at a screen all day. The building was deserted, my footsteps echoing in the long, empty hallways. The only way down was the old service elevator at the end of the corridor, a relic from a bygone era that the building management kept meaning to modernize. It was faster, they said. I pressed the call button. The doors groaned open with a shudder, revealing the dimly lit, wood-paneled box. The air inside was stale, smelling of dust and old metal. As I stepped in, the doors slid shut with a heavy, final-sounding clang. I pushed the button for the lobby. The elevator lurched downwards, then jolted to a stop. The lights flickered, casting the small space in a strobe-like effect. One moment, I was alone. The next, I wasn't. She was standing in the corner, where there had been only shadow. A woman, translucent and shimmering, dressed in clothes from the turn of the 20th century. A high-collared lace blouse, a long dark skirt, her hair pinned up in an elaborate style that was coming undone. Her eyes were wide with a terror that felt ancient, and her lips, blue and cold, parted to whisper just 3 words, a sound like dry leaves skittering across pavement. Join the fall. My heart hammered against my ribs. I stared, frozen, unable to scream. This couldn't be real. It was the late night. The stress, the flickering lights playing tricks on my tired mind. The elevator jolted again, resuming its descent. But the woman was still there, her ghostly form swaying with the movement. A soft ding announced our arrival. But when the doors creaked open, it wasn't the polished marble lobby I was expecting. My breath caught in my throat. Before me was not my office building, but a scene of utter devastation. Walls were crumbled, furniture was smashed into kindling, and a thick layer of dust covered everything. Through a gaping hole in the wall, I could see other buildings in ruins, some still smoldering under a darkened, smoke-filled sky. It was San Francisco, but not my San Francisco. It was a city broken, shattered. It was the aftermath of the great 1906 earthquake. The spectral woman drifted out of the elevator and into the ruin, her form becoming more solid as she did. She turned back to me, her expression no longer terrified, but filled with an eerie, sorrowful invitation. "It's not so bad," she whispered, her voice stronger now. "We are all here together. We fell. You can join the fall." Her hand, pale and shimmering, extended towards me. Panic finally broke through my paralysis. I slammed my hand on the door close button, over and over, my fingers trembling. The doors seemed to take an eternity to respond, slowly grinding shut, closing off the horrifying tableau of the past. I frantically jabbed at the lobby button again and again, my knuckles white. The elevator didn't move. Instead, a low rumbling began, a deep, grinding sound that vibrated through the floor. It sounded like the world was tearing itself apart. Then we dropped, not a gentle descent, but a sickening, stomach-lurching plummet. The cable hadn't snapped. It felt more like the elevator was being dragged down, pulled into the earth by an unseen force. The numbers above the door flew past in a blur. 10, 7, 4. The emergency brake screeched, but it didn't hold. The rumbling grew louder, the shaking more violent. I braced myself against the wall, convinced these were my last moments, that I was about to join the woman in her century-old fall. With a final, bone-jarring crash, the elevator slammed to a halt. The doors, buckled and bent, scraped open just enough for me to squeeze through. I scrambled out, falling onto the cold, familiar marble of the lobby. It was my lobby. The modern art was on the wall. The security desk was empty but intact. The streetlights outside cast a normal, comforting glow through the glass doors. It was over. I was safe. Gasping for air, I pushed myself up, my whole body shaking uncontrollably. I leaned against the cool glass of the entrance, trying to steady my breathing, trying to make sense of the nightmare. And then, I saw it. I saw my reflection in the glass door. It was me, but not me. I was standing on the outside, safe in the lobby. But my reflection was still inside the elevator. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with the same terror I had just felt. She was pounding on the glass of the elevator doors, but from the inside. Her mouth was open in a silent scream that I couldn't hear, only see. She was trapped. I was looking at myself, trapped in that haunted metal box. I stumbled back, a cry escaping my lips. My reflection kept banging, her expression growing more and more desperate. She was trapped, and I was out here. A part of me had been left behind. A part of me, it seemed, had joined the fall after all. Now, when I look in the mirror, I don't always see myself looking back. Sometimes, for a split second, I see her face, my face, screaming from behind the glass. The fog in San Francisco holds its secrets, and now I am one of them. Thanks for sticking with me through that chilling tale. If you love stories that linger long after the lights are on, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Stay safe out there.